Good morning, champions. Do you know what separates a millionaire morning from an ordinary one? It's not coffee, it's clarity. It's not about waking up early, it's about waking up with purpose. Every morning, before the world starts asking for your time, your attention, your energy, you get one sacred window, a window between 5 and 9 a.m., where destiny listens. That's the millionaire morning. One money move #1 audit your mind, not just your wallet before you check your phone, before you scroll, before you compare your life to someone else's highlight reel. Stop. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about money today? Because if your inner world says I can't afford it, your outer world will make sure that's true. The wealthy don't just manage their cash, they manage their consciousness. They start their mornings by reprogramming the most powerful asset they own, their mind. So every morning, replace your doubts with declarations. Say it like you mean it. Money flows to me because I create value. Opportunities find me because I'm prepared. I am not chasing wealth, I'm aligning with it. 2 money move #2 set your intentional income focus. Listen carefully. Wealthy people don't chase to-do lists. They chase results. Before 9 a.m., they know they're one high. Income move, the single action that pushes the needle forward. It could be a sales call, a pitch email, a strategic decision, or creating something of value, but it's intentional. Every day you wake up and choose one move that feeds your future. You're stacking bricks of financial freedom. That's how wealth is built, not in one day, but daily. 3 money move #3 study the flow of wealth. You cannot master what you don't understand. So, spend 10 minutes every single morning studying money. Not scrolling money, studying money. Read a page about investing. Listen to a podcast on finance. Watch a short clip that expands your economic IQ. Because when you train your mind to think like an investor, opportunities start whispering your name. Remember, the poor consume, the rich comprehend, and comprehension leads to confidence. Your morning energy equals your earning frequency. If you wake up drained, distracted, and doubtful, your energy repels wealth. But when you wake up centered, grateful, and confident, you become magnetic. Money is not just a currency, it's a current, and it flows to those who vibrate at the frequency of focus and growth. Protect the morning, guard it like gold. No news, no notifications, no negativity, because the world will always try to rent space in your head for free, but your peace is premium real estate. The Millionaire Morning Formula: if you do these 3 moves every day, audit your mind, act with intention, and study wealth, you are not just earning money, you are becoming money, conscious, and over time, your consistency compounds like interest, quietly, powerfully, inevitably. So tomorrow morning when the alarm rings, don't just wake up, rise into your purpose, rise into your potential, rise into your millionaire morning, because wealth isn't built at the desk, it's built in the dawn. Fire, now go make your morning your empire. The power of the first hour decides who you become in life. It is the invisible foundation that determines whether your day will be chaotic or creative, reactive or productive, average or extraordinary. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their attention to the world. They open their phones, scroll through notifications, check messages, and step right into the noise. They start their mornings by reacting to other people's agendas instead of creating their own. That is the silent tragedy of modern ambition. You see, success doesn't begin when you open your laptop. It begins when you open your eyes. The first hour after waking is when your brain is in its most programmable state. Science calls it the alpha state, where your subconscious mind is wide open, absorbing information and instructions like a sponge. Whatever you feed it in that time becomes the emotional blueprint of your day. If you feed it stress, comparison, and distraction, that's exactly what you'll manifest for the next 16 hours. But if you feed it focus, gratitude, and purpose, the world seems to bend in your favor. The first hour is your greatest opportunity to align with your future self. Think of it as the hour where your millionaire mindset gets built piece by piece. It's not about waking up at an unrealistic hour or following someone else's morning routine. It's about ownership. Ownership of your time, your thoughts, and your energy. When you wake up early, not just physically but mentally, you're sending a signal to your brain that says, "I'm in control." That single act of control creates momentum, and momentum compounds. The first few minutes of your day either lift your vibration or lower it, and wealth, success, creativity, and confidence only flow at higher vibrations. That's why you must treat your morning like a sacred ceremony. Protect it, design it, command it, because the world cannot take from you what you have intentionally created within. Imagine two versions of yourself. One wakes up late, rushes through breakfast, checks social media, and dives straight into work, already feeling behind. The other wakes up calmly, breathes deeply, journals for clarity, and spends a few minutes thinking about purpose. One is operating in survival mode, the other in creation mode. Over a week, the difference is small. Over a year, it's monumental. One builds anxiety, the other builds empires, and that difference is born entirely in the first hour. That's why every leader, entrepreneur, or visionary you admire has some form of morning ritual. They understand that when they win the first hour, the rest of the day aligns automatically. The first hour isn't just about habits, it's about identity. It's the time when you choose who you are becoming. Every morning, you have two choices: repeat yesterday or reinvent yourself. The Millionaire Morning begins with intention. Before you pick up your phone, you pick up your vision. Before you check your emails, you check your energy. Because the truth is, you can't create wealth from a mind that feels poor. You can't build abundance from a heart that's full of anxiety. You must center yourself before you try to conquer the world. So, instead of waking up to the noise of notifications, wake up to the sound of your own breath. Instead of scrolling through chaos, scroll through gratitude. Think about what you already have before you think about what's missing. Gratitude turns scarcity into sufficiency, and sufficiency into overflow. That's where abundance starts, not in your bank account, but in your brain. The first hour also teaches discipline. You can't control every outcome in life, but you can control how you start each day. Discipline in the morning is the foundation of freedom later. When you discipline your morning, you no longer chase time. Time starts following your rhythm. The first hour sets the tone for your mental state, your productivity, and even your financial decisions. A chaotic morning breeds emotional decisions. A focused morning breeds strategic ones. And when it comes to money, strategy always wins over emotion. The people who grow their wealth understand that their mornings are not for reaction, but reflection. They use this time to ask powerful questions. What is my highest priority today? What can I do right now that will bring me closer to financial independence? Who do I need to become to deserve the results I desire? These questions activate clarity, and clarity creates power. Most people underestimate what a focused morning can do. They think the secret lies in grinding late into the night, but the truth is, success loves early energy. When your mind is fresh, your intuition is louder. Ideas that seem impossible later in the day are crystal clear in the morning. The first hour is when creativity visits quietly, waiting to see if you're available to receive it. If you're distracted, it leaves, but if you're still, it speaks. That's why so many breakthroughs, business ideas, and creative insights are born during early hours. The universe whispers in silence, and the morning is the loudest silence you'll ever know. The first hour also shapes your emotional thermostat. If you start your day in a hurry, you carry that vibration into every conversation, every meeting, and every challenge. You end up living on edge, responding instead of leading. But when you start your day calm, centered, and grateful, you radiate stability. People trust stable energy. Opportunities gravitate toward calm confidence. Money flows where there's emotional maturity. That's why the first hour isn't just about what you do. It's about how you feel while doing it. Your emotions are your compass. If you learn to master your morning emotions, you'll master your entire financial journey. Some people say, I'm not a morning person, but that's not biology, that's identity programming. You've told yourself that story so many times that it's become truth. Yet every human is wired to rise with purpose. The sun rises every day to remind you that light always returns. The first hour is your personal sunrise, your daily reminder that no matter how dark yesterday was, you have another chance to begin. When you choose to own your morning, you're sending a signal to life itself. I'm ready. And when life sees your readiness, it responds with resources, ideas, and connections that match your energy. The first hour of your day is not negotiable, it's non-refundable. Once it's gone, you can't buy it back. That's why millionaires, visionaries, and dreamers guard it fiercely. They understand that success is not an event but a rhythm, a daily tune played in the quiet of the morning. If you want to elevate your income, elevate your first hour. If you want to increase your influence, increase your intention in that first hour. The mornings you waste are the opportunities you delay. The mornings you master are the futures you create. The secret isn't waking up early, it's waking up intentionally. When you start living like this, something magical happens. You stop waiting for motivation, you start creating momentum. You stop chasing opportunities, you start attracting them. Your energy changes, your words change, your habits change, and so does your bank balance. You realize that wealth was never about luck. It was always about alignment. Every great achievement starts quietly, often before the world is even awake. The first hour belongs to those who believe their dreams deserve discipline. When you win that hour, you win your day. When you win your days, you win your life. The first hour is not just the start of your morning, it's the start of your legacy. Mindset before movement, that's where the real transformation begins. Before your hands touch the world, your mind must touch your vision. Every millionaire, every game changer, every leader who ever built something that outlasted them understood one truth. Money doesn't start in your bank account, it starts in your belief system. You can wake up early, dress sharp, work long hours, and still stay stuck if your inner story is weak. Because wealth isn't built by effort alone, it's built by energy. The energy that comes from belief, confidence, and clarity. And that energy begins in your mindset. When you open your eyes in the morning, your thoughts are raw and unfiltered. The world hasn't yet told you who you are supposed to be today. That's the perfect time to program your direction. If the first thing you do is grab your phone, you start your day in reaction mode, reacting to notifications, other people's opinions, and outside noise. But when you start your day inside your mind, breathing, reflecting, visualizing, you begin in creation mode, and the creator always has more power than the reactor. That's why millionaires don't just manage their mornings, they design them. They understand that every great action is born from a great mindset. It's not what should I do today, it's who should I be today. Mindset before movement means you stop rushing and start aligning. It means before you run into the world, you run a quick check inside your thoughts. You ask yourself, asterisk, what am I expecting today? What energy am I bringing into my work, my relationships, my business? Am I thinking like a winner or worrying like a struggler? Asterisk, because your outer actions are only as powerful as the inner energy that fuels them. You can't build a 7-figure life with a 3-figure mindset. You can't attract wealth if you secretly believe you don't deserve it. Every belief you hold about money becomes your financial thermostat set too low, and no matter how hard you work, your life cools back down to that limit. Set it high, and you expand naturally into abundance. Your mindset is your operating system. Every morning, you must update it. Delete the old program's fear, doubt, guilt, comparison. Install the new one's confidence, vision, gratitude, authority. That's why affirmations work when done with emotion, not because the words are magic, but because they shift your vibration. When you say, I am capable, I am valuable, I am open to wealth, you're rewriting the script that runs your day. You're building the mental muscle that says, asterisk, I don't chase opportunities, I create them. Asterisk, that's how millionaires think, not with scarcity, but with certainty. They don't wake up asking, what if it doesn't work? They wake up saying, what if it does, and it's even bigger than I imagined? Mindset before movement also means being intentional with what you consume first thing in the morning. The content you absorb in that fragile state sets the tone for your energy. If you start your day with bad news, gossip, or negativity, you lower your frequency before you've even left your bed. But if you start with gratitude, silence, prayer, journaling, or visualization, you strengthen your emotional core. That's your foundation. That's what separates people who drift through life from those who drive it. One group starts the day reacting to noise, the other starts it generating clarity. When your mind is clear, your moves are powerful. You act from direction, not desperation. You don't rush decisions, you design them. And people can feel that. The world senses alignment. When you walk into a room with clarity, you don't need to convince anyone. Your energy speaks first. That's what mindset mastery gives you: silent influence. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You've already met your goals in your mind before the world sees them in reality. That's why the phrase mindset before movement isn't just motivational, it's practical neuroscience. The human brain filters reality based on expectation. If you expect greatness, your brain scans the world for proof of it. If you expect problems, your brain hunts for those instead. What you expect, you experience. That's not luck, that's psychology. Think of your morning mind set like tuning an instrument before a concert. You wouldn't perform before making sure every string is in harmony. Your life works the same way. Before you go out and perform, in your business, job, or relationships, you must tune your inner frequency. Otherwise, every note you play feels off. That's why successful people guard their mindset so fiercely, because they know one negative thought can throw off the rhythm of their entire day. They understand that confidence is not an emotion. It's a decision repeated until it becomes truth. In that quiet space before the world wakes up, the most powerful question you can ask yourself is this: asterisk, what would the millionaire version of me think right now? Asterisk, not what would they do, what would they asterisk think? Asterisk, because your thoughts become your identity, and your identity drives your actions. The person who believes they are destined for greatness behaves differently. They speak differently. They carry themselves with intention, not insecurity. Every choice they make, from what they read to how they spend their time, reflects that belief. And slowly, the world adjusts to match that inner conviction. Mindset before movement means recognizing that your mind is not a passenger, it's the pilot. If you let it drift into fear or laziness, your actions will follow. But if you command it with vision, discipline, and gratitude, your actions become unstoppable. That's why every great entrepreneur or investor starts their day with visualization. They don't wait for success to appear. They mentally rehearse it until it feels inevitable. That's not fantasy, that's focus. When your brain experiences a vivid vision often enough, it begins wiring itself to make that reality happen. You begin noticing opportunities you once overlooked. You start connecting with people aligned with your mission. You feel a new kind of certainty, the kind that attracts abundance instead of chasing it. And there's something else about mindset. It's contagious. When you show up in the world with confidence and calm energy, people feel it. They trust it. That's why mindset is the ultimate magnet. It pulls people, projects, and prosperity toward you. A person who's grounded in belief doesn't have to hustle for attention. Attention finds them. You don't have to shout your worth. It radiates quietly through everything you do. So, when the sun rises tomorrow, remember, before you move, think. Before you act, align. Before you chase, create. Success isn't built in your schedule. It's built in your state of mind. The richest people in the world don't start their mornings by running to tasks. They start by tuning into truth. They know that if the mind is right, the money will follow. You are the architect of your future, and your first tool every morning is your mindset. Guard it, grow it, and guide it, because the quality of your thoughts will always determine the quality of your wealth. Money move #1. Odd, it's your mind, not just your wall. This is the first and most crucial step to building real, lasting wealth. Every morning, before you open your banking app, before you check your income or your expenses, you need to check your asterisk inner balance sheet. Asterisk because the truth is, your thoughts are transactions. Every belief you hold about money is either a deposit into your future or a withdrawal from your potential. Most people never realize that they are already rich or already broke, not in numbers, but in asterisk narratives. Asterisk, the stories you tell yourself about money decide whether you attract it, hold it, or push it away. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if your mindset is filled with scarcity, fear, and guilt, you'll sabotage your own success before it even begins. When you wake up, your mind is like a clean ledger waiting to be written on. That's when you must perform your daily audit. Ask yourself, asterisk, what do I believe about money today? Asterisk, maybe yesterday you felt discouraged. Maybe something didn't work out. Maybe you saw someone else winning while you were still struggling. If you don't clean that emotional residue, it becomes a shadow that follows you all day. The odd, it is about identifying those hidden emotional expenses: jealousy, fear, self-doubt, unworthiness, and clearing them out before they drain your creative energy. Because wealth doesn't flow through blocked energy. You can't attract abundance if your mindset is still overdrafted with negativity. When you start auditing your mind, you'll realize how many of your beliefs aren't even yours. You inherited them from family, society, religion, or culture. You heard phrases like money is the root of all evil, or rich people are greedy, or I'm just not good with money. And over time, those phrases became invisible rules running your life. But those rules are outdated. They were written by people who lived in survival, not expansion. Your job now is to update the system. You're not here to repeat their relationship with money, you're here to redefine it. Every morning when you do this mental audit, you are telling your subconscious, Asterisk, I am no longer living from limitation. I'm operating from leadership. Asterisk, the mental audit also requires brutal honesty. Look at the beliefs hiding underneath your habits. Do you procrastinate on opportunities because you're afraid of failure? Do you spend money to impress others because deep down you fear not being enough? Do you reject help because you think accepting it makes you weak? All of those are hidden financial blockages. They don't show up in your bank statement, but they show up in your results. You can fix your budget all day, but if your belief system stays broken, your wealth will always leak. The mind audit, it is not about judging yourself. It's about asterisk understanding yourself. Asterisk, it's about identifying where your thinking is costing you your future. When you check your mind before your wallet, you shift from reaction to creation. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, you focus on what's possible. That single shift in energy is what separates scarcity from abundance. Scarcity asks, what if I lose it? Abundance asks, how can I multiply it? Scarcity looks at the bill, abundance looks at the blueprint. Scarcity thinks, I can't afford it. Abundance thinks, how can I create it? This mental audit, it transforms fear into curiosity. And curiosity is the seed of wealth because it leads to learning, experimenting, and expanding your capacity to receive. Here's how the audit works in practice. The moment you wake up, before you touch your phone, sit still for a minute and listen to your inner dialogue. What's the first thought you have about your life or your work? That's your starting point. Then ask yourself, is this thought serving my future? If the answer is no, rewrite it immediately. Replace I'm behind with I'm building momentum. Replace I'm broke with I'm learning how to manage and multiply. Replace it's too hard with I'm getting stronger. These aren't empty affirmations, they're mental rewiring commands. Every time you replace a limiting belief with an empowering one, you're updating your financial operating system. Over time, your subconscious starts believing that abundance is natural, not exceptional. Most people run their mornings on autopilot. They check numbers, notifications, and news before they check in with themselves. But millionaires know that their greatest asset isn't their business, it's their belief. That's why they invest time daily to make sure their inner world aligns with the outer results they want. They understand that the energy you bring to your finances determines how your finances respond to you. If you approach money with fear, it hides. If you approach it with gratitude and confidence, it grows. The universe doesn't respond to need, it responds to asterisk belief. Asterisk the mental audit, it ensures your beliefs are tuned to the right frequency. Think about it this way, your mind is the CEO of your wealth and your wall, it is just the employee. If the CEO is confused, afraid, or directionless, the whole company suffers. You don't fix the company by yelling at the employees, you fix it by training the leadership. That's why mindset must come before management. When you audit your mind, you're doing leadership training for your financial life. You're saying, I refuse to be a victim of my past beliefs. That's how generational curses are broken, not with luck, but with awareness. During this audit, gratitude plays a huge role. Before counting what you don't have, count what you do. Gratitude recalibrates your energy instantly. When you appreciate the money you already have, even if it's little, you signal the universe that you can be trusted with more. Money expands in environments of appreciation, not anxiety. You can't receive what you resent. So instead of saying, I hate bills, say, I'm grateful I have resources to pay for my needs. Instead of saying, I never have enough, say, I'm learning to create more value every day. Gratitude turns struggle into strategy. It's the emotional equivalent of compound interest, small daily deposits that build enormous wealth over time. Your mind awed. It also involves envisioning your financial future as if it's already real. Visualize yourself making confident decisions, managing abundance, investing wisely, giving generously. Feel the emotions of financial peace before the money arrives. This isn't wishful thinking. It's psychological conditioning. The brain can't distinguish between imagination and reality when the emotion is strong enough. So, when you visualize abundance consistently, your subconscious starts working toward it automatically. You begin spotting opportunities, ideas, and connections that match your inner picture. That's how vision becomes vibration, and vibration becomes value. Finally, understand this. Money only amplifies what's already inside you. If your inner world is confused, money will magnify confusion. If your inner world is confident, money will magnify creation. That's why auditing your mind is not just about getting rich. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle richness. It's about building emotional maturity, clarity, and calmness so that when opportunities appear, you don't panic, you perform. The mental ode, it is your morning training ground for that calm power. So before you open your banking app tomorrow, open your awareness. Before you count your cash, count your beliefs, because the size of your income will never exceed the size of your inner clarity. Wealth doesn't start with numbers, it starts with narratives. Ode it those narratives daily. Delete the ones that limit you. Strengthen the ones that empower you, because the richest thing you will ever own is a mind that believes in its own ability to create. Money move #2. Set your intentional income focus. This is where the vision becomes action. It's the moment your morning transforms from motivation to movement. Most people wake up and start reacting. They scroll, they check emails, they dive into busyness, but not business. They mistake movement for progress. They do 100 little things that don't lead to any real wealth, while the few important things, the ones that actually grow their income, expand their reach, and move them closer to freedom, get buried under noise. The truth is, the difference between the average earner and the abundant creator lies in intentionality. Wealthy people don't just work hard, they work with precision. They know exactly which actions compound and which just consume energy. And that clarity is crafted every single morning. Before 9 a.m., the wealthy mind has already chosen its focus. Not a to-do list filled with tasks, but one clear, high-value income move. That one decision separates the dreamers from the doers. When you wake up and set an intentional income focus, you're telling the universe, I'm not just open to opportunities, I'm acting on them. It's about identifying the single most valuable thing you can do today that directly contributes to growth, income, or expansion. Maybe it's following up with a client, making that sales call, sending that proposal, filming that piece of content, designing that product, or writing that pitch. Whatever it is, it must be something that builds assets, relationships, or results, not just something that fills time. The power of this practice lies in clarity. You can't hit a target you can't see. Every morning, before distractions steal your energy, take 5 minutes to define your money move of the day. Ask yourself, if I could only accomplish one thing today that would make me feel financially stronger, what would it be? Write it down. Say it out loud. Visualize yourself doing it with focus and confidence. That act alone activates your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters attention and aligns you with your goal. Suddenly, your mind begins spotting opportunities to make that move easier and more effective. Your day starts aligning around your intention. Intentional income focus is about strategic direction, not random effort. A lot of people stay broke not because they don't work hard, but because they work hard on the wrong things. They spend hours organizing, scrolling, tweaking, planning, but never executing on the actions that actually pay. The difference between busy and wealthy is focus. The Millionaire Morning mindset asks, what action can I take today that creates income tomorrow? That's not greed, that's growth. Because wealth doesn't come from wishing. It comes from consistent, aligned execution. Here's what's powerful. Once you pick that one focus, you must protect it like gold. Don't let distractions steal your first few hours. The early morning hours are sacred. Your brain is sharp, your energy is high, and your environment is quiet. That's when your creativity and courage are at their peak. If you use that time for reactive tasks like emails or errands, you waste your mental prime on low-value work. But if you dedicate it to your intentional income move, creating, closing, building, or learning something that grows you, you compound success faster than most people even start. Your mornings become a daily investment, not an expense. Setting your income focus also builds self-trust. Every time you choose one meaningful task and complete it, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of following through. That's where real confidence comes from, not from hype, but from evidence. When your brain sees that you consistently honor your commitments, it starts believing in your power. And when you believe in your power, your actions become bolder. You begin reaching out to people you used to think were out of your league. You start pitching ideas you once thought were too risky. You take chances because your confidence has momentum. That's what intentional focus does. It trains your subconscious to expect success, not just hope for it. The magic of this move is in its simplicity. It's one action every morning before the world gets loud. Over time, those actions add up like compound interest. The call you make today might open a door next month. The content you post today might bring a client next week. The idea you work on this morning might become a product next year. You can't predict which seed will grow, but you can commit to planting one every day. That consistency builds an invisible momentum that eventually becomes visible success. Intentional focus also teaches you the discipline of saying no. When you know your one main priority for the day, everything else becomes secondary. That's how wealthy people protect their time. They don't try to do everything. They do what matters most. You'll notice that once you set your money move in the morning, the rest of the day starts to organize itself. You stop reacting to random requests, messages, and distractions because you're anchored by purpose. That sense of clarity feels peaceful and powerful at the same time. You're no longer chasing, you're choosing. And here's something most people overlook. Not all income is immediate. Your intentional income move doesn't always mean making money today . It can also mean creating something that makes money tomorrow. Maybe you're learning a new skill that increases your earning potential. Maybe you're designing a system that automates your business. Maybe you're networking with people who can open future doors. All of that counts. The point isn't to hustle mindlessly. It's to move mindfully toward financial elevation. Every focused action, no matter how small, compounds into long-term prosperity. Your intentional income focus also forces you to think like an investor instead of an employee. Employees think in terms of hours, how much can I earn today? Investors think in terms of assets, what can I build today that will pay me forever? When you set your morning income focus with that mindset, you begin creating streams of wealth instead of drops of income. That's when freedom begins. You're no longer exchanging time for money, you're multiplying value for wealth, That's how fortunes are built, not from intensity, but from intention. This habit also builds emotional power. Because when you wake up and accomplish your most important goal early in the day, you walk through the rest of the day with confidence. You're not chasing productivity, you're radiating purpose. You feel like a winner before noon, and that emotional vibration attracts more wins. Your energy becomes magnetic, people respond to it, and opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. That's not luck, that's alignment in motion. So tomorrow morning, before 9 a.m., decide your one move. One focus, one action, not 20, not 10, just one. The move that feeds your future, not your fear. The move that grows your income, your skill, or your influence. Write it down, commit to it, execute it before anything else. Because every time you choose focus over distraction, you're building the identity of someone who wins. And wealth always follows identity. It's never the other way around. The world rewards the focused. The scattered stay busy, the focused get wealthy. Every morning gives you a choice to drift or to direct, to react or to rise. The intentional income focus is how you take control of your day and your destiny. Because while everyone else is scrolling, talking, and planning, you're asterisk moving. Asterisk quietly, powerfully, intentionally. That's not just how you earn more. That's how you asterisk become asterisk more. And when you make that move every morning, before the clock hits 9 a.m., you're no longer chasing the millionaire life, you're living it in motion. Every morning when the world is still half asleep, the truly wealthy are already teaching their minds how to think. They understand that before money can flow into their bank accounts, it must first flow through their awareness. The reason so many people stay stuck financially isn't because they lack opportunity. It's because they've never learned to study the asterisk flow asterisk of wealth. The flow of wealth is like a river. It's always moving, always shifting. Some people stand by the shore, complaining about how others are swimming in it, while the wise ones take the time to understand its rhythm, its currents, its depth. The moment you start to study how wealth moves, where it goes, why it grows, how it multiplies, you stop being an observer and start becoming a participant. The difference between the average person and a millionaire often comes down to this simple habit: curiosity about money. Most people think of money emotionally. They desire it, fear it, envy it. Millionaires, on the other hand, think of money asterisk intellectually asterisk. They treat it like a subject to master, not a mystery to fear. They wake up and feed their minds information that nourishes their financial intelligence. It might be reading a few pages from a finance book, watching a short video that explains how markets move, or even analyzing a successful business model. But what matters most is asterisk consistency asterisk. Every single day, they are conditioning their brains to think in terms of value creation, return on investment, leverage, and compounding. Spending just 10 minutes each morning studying the flow of wealth may not sound like a big deal. But over time, those 10 minutes transform how you make decisions, how you see opportunities, and how you understand risk. You begin to notice patterns that others miss. You start realizing why certain people seem to attract prosperity effortlessly. It's not luck, it's literacy. Financial literacy. And like any language, fluency only comes through daily practice. When you spend your mornings learning about wealth, you start to speak the language of abundance naturally. Think about this: if you spent 10 minutes every morning learning about health, in a year you'd know enough to transform your body. If you spent 10 minutes every morning learning about relationships, in a year you'd understand people deeply. So imagine what happens when you dedicate 10 minutes every morning to understanding money, the very energy that shapes economies, businesses, and possibilities. You'd start making sharper financial choices because your awareness would expand. You'd understand the difference between assets and liabilities, between working for money and making money work for you. You'd begin to recognize when the market whispers opportunity instead of waiting for it to shout. The tragedy is that most people spend more time complaining about their lack of money than they do learning how money operates. They gossip about who's rich, debate which business is failing, and doom scroll through bad news that teaches them nothing. Meanwhile, the disciplined few are feeding their brains with new knowledge, quietly, consistently, purposefully. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're preparing themselves to handle larger opportunities. That's why when luck finally knocks, they're ready to answer. Studying wealth is not about greed, it's about growth. It's not about becoming obsessed with numbers. It's about becoming aware of value. Every book you read, every insight you absorb, every mentor you listen to, shifts your mindset from scarcity to strategy. You stop seeing money as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something you can shape. You stop saying, "I can't afford it," and start asking, "How can I afford it?" That tiny change in question is the bridge between limitation and liberation. Now, let's talk about what it means to study flow. Flow implies movement. Money moves where it's understood and respected. It leaves the hands of those who misuse it and flows toward those who manage it wisely. When you spend your mornings learning about wealth, you are literally training your subconscious mind to become a vessel through which money can flow freely. You start aligning with principles of value exchange. Give more, serve more, innovate more, and money naturally follows. During those quiet morning minutes when distractions haven't yet invaded your peace, that's the perfect time to absorb new wisdom. Read about how successful entrepreneurs think. Study why certain investments thrive in specific markets. Learn about financial trends, passive income streams, and the psychology of spending. Don't just memorize facts. Understand principles. The principle of compounding. The principle of risk and reward. The principle that money amplifies who you already are. When these truths take root in your mind, they change how you act in the world. Even if you can't yet invest, you can learn how investments work. Even if you don't have a business, you can study how businesses succeed. The goal isn't to become rich overnight. The goal is to grow your perspective so that when the right opportunity appears, you recognize it instantly. Because wealth doesn't reward the strongest or the fastest. It rewards the most prepared. And preparation starts with education. There's a reason millionaires can lose everything and rebuild faster than others. It's not luck, it's literacy. They've studied the patterns of money so deeply that even when life resets the board, they know exactly how to play again. Their knowledge is portable wealth. It can't be taxed, stolen, or erased. When you spend 10 minutes every morning studying the flow of wealth, you're building that kind of unshakable foundation. You're developing a financial awareness that no recession or setback can take from you. Remember, the mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it grows. If you feed it fear, scarcity grows. If you feed it information and insight, prosperity grows. So what are you planting in your mind each morning? Fear from headlines or wisdom from history, doubt from social media or discipline from mentors? The choice is yours, and the result will always reflect that choice. Studying the flow of wealth isn't just about money. It's about awareness, mastery, and mindset. It's about recognizing that wealth isn't a mystery, it's a pattern, and patterns reveal themselves to the curious, not the careless. Every morning you choose to study, you're raising your frequency to match the rhythm of abundance. So when you wake up tomorrow, before you pick up your phone, pick up your future. Feed your mind 10 minutes of wealth wisdom. Observe how the rich think, how they move, how they manage risk, how they multiply opportunity. Because when you start your morning thinking like an investor, your brain begins to operate like one. And that's the moment you stop surviving and start designing. 10 minutes a day, that's all it takes to rewire your relationship with money. Do it consistently, and soon the language of wealth won't sound foreign. It will sound familiar. You'll think bigger, plan smarter, and move with confidence. You'll stop chasing money and start understanding it. And when that happens, the flow of wealth will no longer be something you watch. It will be something you live. Your energy in the morning is not just a feeling, it's a frequency, a signal you send out to the universe that determines what you attract throughout the day. Every thought, every breath, every movement you make in those early hours is either pulling wealth closer to you or pushing it away. The energy you start your morning with doesn't just decide how productive you'll be, it shapes your financial reality. People often think money is about math, strategy, or opportunity, but before it's ever numbers on a screen, it's energy in motion, and that energy starts with you. When you wake up tired, frustrated, or distracted, your vibration is low. You're tuned into lack, resistance, and noise, and because the universe mirrors your inner state, your day starts to unfold in alignment with that vibration. More obstacles, more stress, more scarcity. But when you wake up calm, focused, and intentional, your energy becomes magnetic. You start attracting clarity, ideas, and opportunities that match your frequency. You don't chase, you align. You don't force, you flow. That is the secret of those who seem to move effortlessly through success. They know how to tune their energy before the world starts asking for it. The truth is, your energy is your first currency. Before you ever make a dollar, you spend energy, mental, emotional, and spiritual. If you waste it on negativity, comparison, or chaos, there's nothing left to create wealth. That's why the wealthiest people protect their mornings like sacred ground. They know that their energy in the morning sets the tone for their financial vibration all day long. They start their day with silence, gratitude, and visualization, not because it's trendy, but because it's tactical. It's how they charge their inner battery to power the outer world. Think about the times when you've been inspired, confident, and unstoppable, maybe after a workout, a breakthrough, or an accomplishment. Notice how money seemed to flow easier, how opportunities showed up, how people responded differently to you. That's not coincidence, that's energy. When you're operating in a high frequency, your words carry power, your actions gain momentum, your decisions carry precision. But when you're drained, uncertain, or negative, even your best ideas fall flat. The same person, same talent, same intelligence, but completely different outcomes simply because of the difference in energy. Your morning energy doesn't just decide how much you do, it decides how much you receive. Energy is the invisible bridge between desire and manifestation. You can't attract abundance from a place of exhaustion or resentment. That's like trying to tune into a radio frequency that you're not broadcasting on. You want wealth, but your energy says worry. You want growth, but your energy says fear. You want opportunity, but your energy says chaos. The frequency is mismatched. The moment you realign your morning energy through movement, mindset, gratitude, or focus, you sync your vibration with the energy of abundance. That's when things start moving in your favor. Most people underestimate the link between energy and earning. They think they can work harder to fix a low vibration, but effort without alignment is just exhaustion. Millionaires don't start their mornings with chaos. They start with calibration. They take a few moments to set their emotional thermostat calm, focused, and powerful. They know that once they are centered, Decisions become clear, ideas flow easily, and interactions create value. They're not reacting to life, they're radiating through it. Let's make it real. Imagine two people starting the same morning. One wakes up, grabs the phone, scrolls through bad news, compares themselves to others, complains about work, and rushes out the door with anxiety. Their body is tense, their breathing is shallow, their energy is scattered. Now imagine the other person. They wake up and take a deep breath. They move their body, stretch, drink water. They spend 5 minutes in silence, gratitude, or visualization. They set one clear intention. Today, I'm moving with purpose. They walk out the door calm, clear, and composed. Tell me, who do you think will attract better ideas, better opportunities, better outcomes? The answer is obvious. It's not luck, it's frequency. This is why energy is often called your asterisk earning frequency. Asterisk because it determines how you show up in every situation and how the world responds to you. When your energy is high, people feel it. Clients trust you. Partners respect you. Ideas click. You operate from a state of flow where wealth naturally expands. When your energy is low, even simple tasks feel heavy. Calls go wrong, communication breaks down, and creativity dries up. It's not the world against you, it's your energy out of tune. So, how do you raise your earning frequency every morning? You start by being intentional. Don't just wake up asterisk arrive. Asterisk arrive into your morning like it's the launch pad for your destiny. Before touching your phone, touch your purpose. Before reacting to messages, respond to yourself. Move your body, clear your mind, center your breath. Speak words of power over your day. Remind yourself, I am the source, not the victim. I create wealth, not wait for it. I am energy in motion. Because that's exactly what you are, pure energy, shaping the material world around you. When you understand that your emotional and mental energy directly impact your financial outcomes, you stop taking your mornings lightly. You realize that your paycheck, your business growth, your opportunities, they all rise to meet the level of your energy. If you start your day at a low vibration, you attract situations that match it. But if you start your day in power, peace, and gratitude, the universe bends in your favor. You start noticing the right people, the right ideas, the right timing. You no longer chase success, you asterisk resonate asterisk with it. Remember this, money is not the goal, alignment is. Because once you're aligned, money becomes the natural side effect of your frequency. You can't fake energy. You can't pretend confidence. You can't trick the universe into giving you abundance while you're radiating lack. Energy never lies. It amplifies exactly who you are and what you're focusing on. That's why protecting your morning energy is one of the greatest financial strategies you'll ever master. So when you wake up tomorrow, before you start running, asterisk tune in. Asterisk tune into gratitude. Tune into clarity. Tune into vision. Remind yourself that you're not chasing money, you're calibrating your frequency to receive it. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. And who you are is determined every single morning by the energy you choose to stand in. Your morning energy is your foundation, your secret currency, your invisible investment. Protect it, nurture it, and elevate it. Because the higher your frequency, the higher your flow, and the moment your energy rises, so does your income. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement, between desire and destiny. It's the silent engine that drives success long after motivation fades. Every morning, before the noise of the world floods your mind, you face a moment of choice to move by feeling or to move by purpose. Most people wait to feel inspired before they act, but the wealthy, the focused, The fulfilled, they act to become inspired. They understand a simple truth. ***, motivation is a spark, but discipline is the flame that keeps burning when the spark dies out. ***, when the alarm rings and comfort whispers, stay a little longer, discipline speaks louder. It doesn't ask how you feel, it reminds you who you are. The person who builds wealth, mastery, and freedom doesn't rely on mood swings. They rely on consistency. They don't chase the high of excitement. They build the habit of excellence. And it's in those quiet, unseen decisions to get up, to show up, to follow through that a millionaire morning is born. Motivation is temporary. It's emotional. It depends on the weather of your mind. But discipline is stable. It's your inner compass when the winds of laziness and doubt start to blow. Think about it. Anyone can be motivated for a day. You watch a video, read a quote, get fired up, and by noon, that energy fades. But discipline is different. Discipline says, I'll do it, not because I feel like it, but because it aligns with who I'm becoming. It's not driven by emotion, it's driven by identity. Every great success story is a monument to discipline. The athlete who trains while others sleep, the entrepreneur who studies when others scroll, the investor who saves when others spend. They don't wait to want it, they act as if they already deserve it. Discipline transforms dreams into systems. It takes vision out of the clouds and plants it into reality, brick by brick, morning by morning. The truth is, discipline doesn't come naturally. It's trained like a muscle. You build it through repetition, through small promises kept to yourself every single day. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, you're strengthening your self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of success. The moment you can rely on yourself, you stop waiting for external validation. You stop depending on motivation to move you. You become your own fuel. Discipline is also the highest form of self-respect. It's saying, my goals are worth more than my excuses. It's understanding that short-term comfort often steals long-term greatness. When you discipline your morning, your habits, your thoughts, your time, you're sending a message to the universe that you are serious about your future. And the universe responds to seriousness. It opens doors, aligns opportunities, and multiplies momentum for those who show commitment. Look at any millionaire's morning and you'll see rituals, not randomness. You'll see structure, not spontaneity. They don't wake up wondering what to do. They wake up knowing. They've built systems that move them forward automatically, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Because they've learned that freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want, it comes from mastering what you must. You see, motivation says, do it when it feels right. Discipline says, do it until it feels right. Motivation wants results now. Discipline understands compounding. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. And over time, that daily discipline becomes your identity. You stop asking for inspiration because you are inspiration. You stop chasing success because you've become the kind of person success chases. Every morning, when you choose discipline, you're making a deposit into your future account. You may not see the returns immediately, but they're building quietly. Each disciplined action compounds, your mindset sharpens, your skills strengthen, your opportunities expand, and one day, what used to require force becomes effortless. The morning routine that once felt like a chore becomes a rhythm. The focus that once took effort becomes second nature. That's the power of repetition. People often say they lack motivation, but what they truly lack is clarity. When your vision is clear, discipline becomes natural. When you know why you're waking up early, why you're pushing forward, why you're saying no to distractions, the pain of discipline turns into pride. It becomes less about I have to, and more about I get to asterisk. That's when discipline becomes joy, when you realize it's not restricting you. It's asterisk releasing asterisk you. Discipline isn't cold or rigid, it's sacred. It's the art of aligning your daily habits with your highest purpose. It's the decision to make your dreams non-negotiable. You stop negotiating with the alarm clock, with procrastination, with doubt. You stop needing permission to act. You just move with certainty, with strength, with silence. Because you've learned that every act of discipline is an act of self-belief. When you build discipline, your entire life changes. You start respecting your time. You start choosing progress over perfection. You stop being controlled by emotions that come and go. You begin to realize that discipline doesn't take freedom away, it creates it. The disciplined person has time, health, and options. The undisciplined one is always chasing, always overwhelmed, always behind. So every morning, when the sun rises, ask yourself one question. Am I moving by emotion or by intention? Because the answer determines everything. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. But if you move with discipline, you'll feel unstoppable. The world doesn't reward those who start, it rewards those who stay. And those who stay are driven not by fleeting motivation, but by steady, unbreakable discipline. That's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Not talent, not luck, not timing, but discipline. The discipline to show up, to follow through, to repeat the right actions until they compound into greatness. The discipline to win your morning before the world even wakes up. Because when you master discipline, you don't just build habits, you build character. You build consistency, you build confidence. And with those three things, there's nothing you can't create, achieve, or become. Protecting your morning from noise is one of the most underrated secrets of success. The first hour after you wake up is the most sacred real estate of your day, yet most people hand it away to distractions. They wake up and immediately dive into chaos, messages, notifications, gossip, news, social media. Before their own mind has a chance to breathe, they're already absorbing the energy and emotions of the world. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, unfocused, and unmotivated. The truth is, you cannot create abundance from a mind that's already crowded. You can't build your vision when your mental space is occupied by everyone else's noise. Your morning is not meant to be a reaction, it's meant to be a creation. Those early minutes determine how you think, feel, and act for the rest of the day. Every alert, every scroll, every unnecessary input steals a little of your focus, and focus is your most valuable currency. Imagine this. You wake up and check your phone. You see a message that stresses you, a post that makes you compare, a headline that fills you with fear. All before breakfast. Your nervous system is already in defense mode. Your creativity is dimmed, and your energy is scattered. By the time you start working on your goals, you're already mentally exhausted. Not because the day has been hard, but because your morning was stolen by noise. Successful people know this. They treat their mornings like sacred ground, untouchable by distraction. They understand that silence isn't emptiness, it's power. They use that silence to listen to their own thoughts, to design their day intentionally, to connect with their purpose before connecting with the world. When you protect your morning from noise, you're not being antisocial, you're being strategic. You're saying, before I let the world tell me who I am, I'll decide for myself. That's power. That's leadership. The truth is, noise is not just sound, it's energy. It can come through your phone, your environment, or your own thoughts. It's the endless chatter that distracts you from what truly matters. And every bit of noise you allow into your morning lowers your vibration, divides your focus, and drains your creativity. Protecting your morning means protecting your energy. It means deciding what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Because attention is the seed of creation, whatever you give it to grows. Think about it. When you start your day in silence, something magical happens. You start hearing your inner voice again, the one that's buried beneath the notifications and demands. You start reconnecting with your vision, your values, your goals. You begin your day from a place of clarity, not confusion. Your mind feels lighter, your emotions steadier, your decisions sharper. You don't react to life, you respond with intention. And that difference changes everything. There's a reason monks, CEO, and top performers all have morning rituals that begin in stillness. They know that creativity, focus, and intuition are born in silence. You can't hear your best ideas in a crowded mind. You have to clear space for them to land. When you guard your morning from noise, you give yourself permission to create before you consume. You become the architect of your day, not its employee. You shape your reality instead of surrendering to the world's agenda. Let's be honest, the world is loud. It's designed to keep you distracted, to make you reactive, to keep your attention hooked. Every notification is a knock on your mental door, demanding to be answered. Every scroll leads you deeper into comparison and chaos. But the moment you choose to protect your morning, you take that power back. You begin your day on your terms, with your energy in your rhythm. You tell the world you can have me later, but not first. That boundary is where greatness begins. Protecting your morning from noise also strengthens your mental discipline. It teaches you patience and presence. It reminds you that you are in control of your attention, not your phone, not your environment, not your emotions. Each morning you resist the urge to react. You train your mind to stay calm in chaos. You build inner peace that lasts all day, and inner peace is not weakness. It's the foundation of power. It's what allows you to make better decisions, connect deeper with people, and operate at a higher level. You might think, it's just a few minutes of scrolling, what harm can it do? But those few minutes create ripples that shape your entire mindset. You start the day consuming instead of creating. You fill your mind with noise instead of ideas. And without realizing it, you hand over your mental sovereignty to algorithms and opinions that don't serve you. On the other hand, imagine waking up, sitting in silence, taking deep breaths, visualizing your goals, expressing gratitude, and writing down your priorities. You've already aligned your energy before 8 a.m. That's the kind of morning that produces millionaires, not because of luck, but because of alignment. When you protect your morning, you also protect your confidence. Because confidence is built through control over your thoughts, your emotions, your environment. When your morning belongs to you, you start the day feeling in command. You move with intention, not reaction. You're less affected by negativity because you've already filled your mind with strength. You're less influenced by doubt because you began your day with clarity. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. or meditate for hours. You just have to decide that your first hour is yours. That means no phone, no noise, no external drama. Just you, your thoughts, your focus, and your vision. Maybe you read something inspiring, write your goals, move your body, or simply sit in gratitude. Whatever grounds you, do that, because those first few moments decide whether your day will be built on distraction or direction. Protecting your morning from noise is a form of wealth in itself, It gives you clarity in a world addicted to chaos. It gives you strength in a world full of distraction. It gives you ownership of your energy, and when you control your energy, you control your outcomes. So when the world starts shouting for your attention, remember, silence is your superpower. Guard it, honor it, because the quiet you create in the morning will become the confidence you carry through the day. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, you are faced with two roads, one that leads to growth and one that leads to distraction. The difference between those who build empires and those who barely survive isn't luck or privilege. It's how they choose to feed their minds before the day begins. The millionaire morning mind said doesn't reach for entertainment, it reaches for enlightenment. When you choose learning over leisure, you are declaring to the universe that your growth matters more than your comfort. Every notification on your phone, every meme, every meaningless scroll, it's designed to drain your energy before you even step into your purpose. Think about that. Before 9 a.m., the average person has already consumed more random noise than useful knowledge. But not you. You're different. You understand that if your mind isn't expanding, it's shrinking. You understand that knowledge is the real currency, the kind that compounds faster than interest in a savings account. Every page you read, every podcast you listen to, every video that stretches your perspective is a deposit into your mental wealth account. The wealthy don't just wake up early, they wake up aware. They don't waste the sacred hours of dawn consuming gossip or entertainment. They invest those hours into education. Whether it's reading financial news, studying business trends, or learning a new skill, they see each morning as an opportunity to get sharper. Because when the world is still asleep, your mind is open and clear, a blank canvas waiting to be painted with purpose and knowledge. Imagine starting every day by asking yourself one question: what can I learn today that will make me 1% better than I was yesterday? That simple question can change everything. You'll start seeing opportunities in problems, lessons in failures, and potential in chaos. Because learning fuels perspective, and perspective fuels power. When you start your day learning about success, strategy, psychology, or wealth creation, your subconscious begins to align with abundance instead of anxiety. Let's be honest, entertainment feels good, but it doesn't build you. It distracts you from who you could become. And here's the truth: the world doesn't reward those who know the latest viral video. It rewards those who know how to create value. Learning transforms you into a value creator, someone who can think critically, solve problems, and build systems. That's what turns ordinary mornings into millionaire mornings. The most powerful people on the planet are constant students. They never assume they know enough. They approach each morning like a hungry mind walking into a buffet of wisdom. They listen, they read, they observe.